Scorpio, imagine your phone suddenly ringing in the middle of an ordinary day, but instead of a familiar voice, it carries the weight of destiny itself. A lawyer or official figure reaching out with words that are far more than legal formalities. They are a summons from the universe, a reminder that justice delayed is not justice denied. You've been sensing this energy for weeks, maybe even months, through restless dreams, subtle synchronicities, the flicker of numbers repeating on clocks, and the heaviness of unresolved matters pressing on your spirit. And now the scales of balance are moving in your favor, preparing to unlock not only closure, but a rebirth of your power. For this unexpected call is not punishment, not chaos, but divine timing cloaked in human form. And as you listen today, you will discover why this moment matters, how it ties to cycles you thought forgotten, and what you must prepare for so that when the call arrives, you don't just answer with your voice, you answer with your soul, ready to claim what has always been yours by truth, by justice, and by fate. Scorpio, what may appear as just a simple legal call, is in fact a messenger of divine timing, a knock on the door of your destiny. For the universe never delivers news like this without weaving it into the larger fabric of your soul's journey. And the lawyer's words, whether they come through a letter, an email, or a voice on the phone, are not random at all, but the earthly echo of cosmic justice aligning on your behalf. Think of this as the moment when the courtroom of heaven finally sends its decree to the courtroom of earth. When contracts written long ago in hidden ink resurface to be stamped with truth, and though it may stir nerves or doubts at first, know that this message is not about fear, but about release, about doors that once seemed sealed with wax finally breaking open to reveal light, about karmic cycles that may have stretched 7, 9, or even 12 years reaching their natural conclusion so that you can breathe again. The call itself is only the form, but the energy behind it is a spiritual appointment, one that has been whispered to you through restless nights, dreams of unfinished conversations, or flashes of justice symbols crossing your path. And so when you hear it, Scorpio, understand that it is not just law or business. It is divine timing stepping into your timeline, reminding you that you are seen, you are guided, and you are being called to receive what is already yours by right of truth and balance. Scorpio, when this unexpected call arrives, its meaning could stretch far beyond the sound of a lawyer's voice, for it may represent a settlement finally reaching your name, an inheritance you didn't anticipate, a contract that shifts your future, or even the resolution of a lawsuit or claim that has lingered in silence for too long. And while on the surface it looks like paperwork or financial documents, beneath it lies the deeper truth that the universe is returning to you what was always meant to be yours. Imagine a sealed vault, locked with red wax for years, and now the seal melts away under the heat of divine justice, revealing treasures, acknowledgements, and answers hidden in the dark. And perhaps this will come as financial relief, perhaps as emotional closure, or perhaps as the lifting of a burden that your family or lineage has carried. For legal matters are not only about money, they are symbolic gateways to freedom, recognition, and truth. The lawyer's role is simply the earthly vessel delivering what your soul has already earned. And whether it arrives in the form of compensation, property, or a letter confirming that you are finally released from an old tie, understand that it is more than coincidence. It is the universe rewriting the script of your life, handing you the missing key and opening a door that once seemed impossible to move. And so, as you prepare for this call, remember, it could be the moment where destiny leans close, whispers now, and invites you to step into a new chapter of justice and hidden blessings. Scorpio, long before the phone rings, your spirit has already felt the tremors of this moment, for signs have been weaving their way into your daily life, like hidden messages from the universe. And if you look back carefully, you'll notice the synchronicities, recurring numbers such as 111, 222 or 888 flashing on clocks or receipts, vivid dreams where phones ring, doors open or papers are signed, sudden images of scales, pens, or signatures appearing in unexpected places. Even random conversations where the word justice or law seems to echo back to you like a secret code. These are not accidents, they are whispers, telling you that the energy of resolution has already begun moving in your favor. And your body too may have carried this awareness. Restless nights where you couldn't sleep without reason. A sudden heaviness lifting as if a burden was loosening its grip, or the urge to clear out old files, clean drawers, or revisit forgotten paperwork. All subtle nudges that destiny is preparing space for what's coming. Perhaps you've even received unexpected calls from family, advisors, or old acquaintances as a preview of the real call that soon follows, reminding you that nothing unfolds randomly in a Scorpio's life. Every sign is a breadcrumb leading you to the moment of truth. And so when you reflect on the weeks or months gone by, recognize that these signs were never coincidences. They were the universe making sure you wouldn't be blindsided, making sure you'd be ready to answer when the call of destiny finally arrives. Scorpio, with every divine opening, there is also the shadow that tries to remind you of past wounds. And for many of you, the word legal itself may trigger old fears. Memories of betrayal, broken contracts, disputes that drained your energy, or moments when authority figures seemed more like enemies than guides. Yet this is precisely why the healing now runs so deep. Because what once felt like a courtroom battlefield is transforming into a sanctuary of truth, where your voice is finally heard. The shadow is the echo of times you were silenced, ignored, or made to believe you had no power. But this incoming call flips the script, showing that you are no longer the vulnerable one standing before the scales. You are the soul whose patience, resilience, and faith are being acknowledged. And though fear may rise when the phone rings, know that it is only the ghost of the past trying to keep you small. For the reality is that this time the scales tip in your favor. This time, the documents carry liberation rather than chains. This time, the outcome heals rather than harms. Imagine a phoenix flying back into the same fire that once consumed it. Only now the flames cannot destroy, but instead ignite wings of light. And that is your path, Scorpio, to reclaim the story, to step through the shadow without shrinking, and to recognize that the call ahead is not here to punish, but to free you from the very fears that once held you bound. Scorpio, with every divine opening, there is also the shadow that tries to remind you of past wounds. And for many of you, the word legal itself may trigger old fears. Memories of betrayal, broken contracts, disputes that drained your energy, or moments when authority figures seemed more like enemies than guides. Yet this is precisely why the healing now runs so deep. Because what once felt like a courtroom battlefield is transforming into a sanctuary of truth, where your voice is finally heard. The shadow is the echo of times you were silenced, ignored, or made to believe you had no power. But this incoming call flips the script, showing that you are no longer the vulnerable one standing before the scales. You are the soul whose patience, resilient Scorpio, beyond the surface of contracts, papers, and signatures lies the deeper truth that legal matters often mirror spiritual ones. For every earthly court is but a reflection of the cosmic court where the universe keeps perfect balance. And what may look like a lawyer dialing your number is in fact the echo of your soul's agreements being reviewed and rewritten. Think of this moment as an ancient scroll unrolling, where promises once broken or debts once owed are now brought back into light so they can finally be cleared. And the lawyer becomes more than a professional figure. They act as an earthly angel, a vessel carrying the decree that what was hidden must be revealed, what was unjust must be corrected, and what was delayed must now move. In spiritual terms, this is karmic justice arriving, the settling of old energy that has lingered across years, even lifetimes, and it comes not to bind you, but to release you. This is why the timing feels uncanny, why you may sense that ancestors' guides or unseen hands are working behind the veil to ensure this message reaches you, and why the scales of law and the scales of destiny suddenly feel aligned. When spirit and law unite, it is no longer about punishment or paperwork. It is about liberation, recognition, and divine alignment. The moment when you realize that nothing owed to you can be taken away, that no shadow can hide truth forever, and that the call you are about to receive is a sign that the universe itself has ruled in your favor, sending earthly messengers to deliver what heaven has already declared to be yours, knowledge. And though fear may rise when the phone rings, know that it is only the ghost of the past trying to keep you small. For the reality is that this time the scales tip in your favor. This time, the documents carry liberation rather than chains. This time, the outcome heals rather than harms. Imagine a phoenix flying back into the same fire that once consumed it. Only now, the flames cannot destroy, but instead ignite wings of light. And that is your path, Scorpio, to reclaim the story, to step through the shadow without shrinking, and to recognize that the call ahead is not here to punish, but to free you from the very fears that once held you bound. Scorpio, as this energy approaches, emotional preparation becomes your greatest ally, because the call itself may stir feelings of shock, anxiety, or even disbelief. And yet the universe is urging you to anchor yourself in calmness so you can receive fully what is meant for you. Remember, fear is only the echo of old wounds, not a prophecy of what's coming. And so when your phone rings, let your breath be the bridge between your heart and your higher self. Inhale slowly as if pulling strength from the stars above. Exhale as if releasing every doubt you've carried. And know that your response must come not from panic, but from inner power. Practice affirmations that steady your soul. I am open to receiving what is mine by truth and justice. I welcome divine timing with courage. I am ready for unexpected blessings, and allow these words to form a shield around you so that no fear can distort your clarity. Understand that when emotions flow wildly, details are missed. But when you are centered, you can discern hidden meaning, ask the right questions, and recognize the deeper gift within the message. See yourself like a tree in the storm, Scorpio. The winds may howl, the thunder may roar, but the roots of your spirit hold you steady. And as long as you stay grounded in faith, you cannot be uprooted. This call is not designed to overwhelm you, but to empower you. And by entering it with emotional readiness, you transform it from a moment of uncertainty into a sacred appointment with destiny, ensuring that the message arrives not just to your ears, but into the deepest chambers of your soul. Scorpio, while the spiritual and emotional layers of this moment are powerful, the universe also calls you to be practical, because preparation in the physical world shows that you are ready to receive the blessings waiting to unfold. And this means having your documents in order, keeping important papers organized, and being attentive to calls or emails that may carry unexpected weight. Double-check contracts, review old agreements, and be mindful of the fine print, for clarity is your ally now. And what you confirm in detail becomes the anchor for what spirit is aligning in energy. Think of this as sweeping the floor before the guest arrives. By clearing space, you demonstrate respect for what is about to enter. Even small acts like keeping your phone charged, answering calls promptly, or preparing notes for questions you might want to ask can shift the outcome in your favor. For readiness attracts opportunity. Yet this is not only about logistics, but about boundaries too, because Scorpio's strength lies in discernment. And you must remember that not every voice deserves your full trust. Listen carefully, weigh the facts, and trust your intuition to guide you toward what resonates with truth. Practical readiness is also an act of faith. a signal to the universe that you believe this call is real and significant, and by blending diligence with intuition, you place yourself in the perfect position to receive what has been stamped with your name in both ink and destiny. Scorpio, the long-term impact of this unexpected legal call reaches far beyond the moment you answer the phone, for it has the power to reshape your path in ways both practical and spiritual, bringing not just resolution but transformation. Financially, it could open doors to compensation, inheritance, or opportunities that shift your sense of stability, lifting burdens you've carried and granting you resources to build the life you've envisioned. Emotionally, it can bring closure to wounds that once bled silently, validating your truth and allowing you to release resentment, fear, or grief tied to injustices of the past. Spiritually, it signals a rebirth, the moment where the phoenix within you rises, not from ashes of destruction, but from papers of recognition, signatures of truth and the weight of karmic scales tipping toward balance. This impact is not fleeting. It is the planting of a seed that will continue to grow over the coming months and even years, teaching you that justice is not delayed forever, that hidden blessings will always find their way home, and that your story has been rewritten in alignment with divine timing. As you step into this new cycle, Scorpio, remember that what begins as an unexpected call can echo across your future, altering how you see yourself, how you stand in your power, and how you walk forward with the knowledge that nothing meant for you can ever be denied. Scorpio, as we close this message, remember that what may begin as a simple phone call is in truth the voice of destiny reaching for you, carrying the weight of closure, justice, and blessings long overdue. This moment is not here to frighten you, but to free you, not to confuse you, but to clarify the path that lies ahead. And as you stand at the edge of this turning point, trust that what is unfolding has been aligned by forces greater than any earthly court. The scales tip now in your favor. The scroll of truth opens with your name written across it, and the burdens you've carried are finally being lifted. So when your phone rings, hear more than just words. Hear the universe confirming that you are seen, guided, and ready for what is yours. Let your heart be steady, your mind be open, and your spirit be willing to step into the justice and fortune that belong to you. And now, dear Scorpio, if this message resonates, I invite you to stand in your power. Like this video if you've been waiting for closure. Comment below, I am open to receiving what is mine by truth and justice. Subscribe to the Mystic Astro Zen for more guidance written in the stars. And share this with another Scorpio who needs to hear this confirmation. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for trusting your path, and for allowing this channel to be your sanctuary of light and clarity. Until we meet again, may the call that arrives carry not just legal words, but the whisper of miracles, the presence of justice, and the promise of a destiny unfolding exactly as it was always meant to be.